I think the US was a bit of a slow starter off the grid. That's what I think, predominantly because they were depending too much on the larger financial institutions to carry that trade book across. But now that the very trade book itself is being challenged, and you're right, when Joe Biden meets up with Mr. Putin, I think it's going to be predominantly try and hedge the trade. And the minute they talk about trade, inevitably currency or fiat currency, whether it's the Russian ruble, whether it's the US dollar, or whether it's China that Biden has in his sight, I think that's going to be a bit of a challenge for Biden to pull off. They are slow. They are 3 years slower than China. And China, to your earlier question, is going to roll it out. Chinese Olympics, which is the Winter Olympics, is the official global launch of the e-yuan, or the digital currency. So, yeah, the US has a bit of a catch-up.
And in terms of that power play by the Chinese, Russia getting on that bandwagon, is there a possibility that we could see other countries very quickly doing the same? And which countries would those be? Are we talking about potentially Iran?
Yeah, absolutely right. There is an unofficial formulation of the RIC nations, RIC nations. That's Russia, Iran, and China. Now, why challenge the US? And why provoke the US? I don't think that's the political or the financial objective. Amongst them, there is a very, very large untapped trade book, and they're depending on very draconian messaging systems and payment systems amongst the three. Now, of course, there are all these sanctions. Venezuela has a sanction and Cuba has a sanction. So they're very cleverly picking on countries that have these sanctions and need a blockchain-enabled payment system so that at least a trickle of the trade, which is $7 trillion, is going to flow through this RIC nations, so to say. And digital currencies are going to enable that.